Welcome everybody, Unstoppable Stelezzi is here to give you some more Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition casting game content. So now we got ourselves the 3 versus 3 supremacy. It will be the Germans, the Swedes, and the Franks versus the French, the Germans, and the Portuguese. So every team gets a croissant and every team gets a pretzel, pretty much. So before we get started, let's check out the map real quick and see how that's going to affect the gameplay. What's interesting about this map is you got these nice little trade routes along the coastline. These are water trade routes, so instead of, a train, you basically will have a boat that goes through these waters to bring a resource. You know what this map reminds me of? It almost reminds me of the Guadalajara map in Wars of Liberty, but that one's in the Latin American desert. This appears to be a, what native is this? A Somali desert. So this is probably the Horn of Africa, I would assume, right? Yeah, it looks like the shape of Somalia almost. Yeah, pretty interesting. So this map has Somalis. These are some pretty strong natives overall. So pretty interesting to say the least. You also have these islands. I wonder if these islands are going to be used for anything. Like if somebody wants to retreat or something, they'll hide in these trees and like put a TC up and reclaim. I don't know, though. We'll see, though. Let's get started and see how this turns out. Alright, so, which team are we looking at right now? So, now we're looking at the, Eliyah team. Nice. So, Eliyah, pretty good German player. In terms of, German gameplay. A lot of mercenary strats. A lot of, FF and FI play, I would say, especially play with artillery and stuff, but certainly knows his way around the war wagon, Mulan, and Skirm as well, so we'll see how that goes. What else we got here? We got ourselves the other German. I don't know what the other German's going to do, though, honestly. Could be an interesting check of the deck to see what they're doing. Swedes. I think I've seen Pfefferon do Swedes before, or am I thinking of somebody else? I don't know. Swedes are one of my favorite team civs because I really like the Torp. The fact that you can just plop the thing down on top of a mine and get a lot of resources from it. Because it's gathering a little bit of food from the little berry bush that it produces and the bit of coin from the mine that's near it. So Swedes can really rack up resources quick if they can get the Torps out quickly. And what else we got here? We got a French. So French are pretty good overall, I think, honestly, the French and the Germans are going to grab all the trading posts here, by the way, since they're pretty grabby of trading posts, I find, in a lot of games. For France, it benefits their FF. For Germany, sort of the same thing, so they really like to do that. And lastly, Portuguese here. This is a great map for Portuguese. They can, of course, do their town center boom on this nice piece of geography here. There's a lot of resources on the land to grab. Oh, we're already getting calls of being a noob here. Ooh. Let's see if they can prove it. Let's see if Eliyah can prove that the enemies are noobs. We'll find out, though. Let's see. Looks like they're getting victorious now, the Portuguese. This is always tends to be the nice starting card for Definitive Edition because what it does is allows your town centers, as Portugal, to trickle all the resources, so the food, the wood, and the coin, in a little tiny amount. But the more town centers as you get, as you age up, obviously that trickle is gonna be more and more to you. So that's definitely something to look out for there. Another thing too for Portugal, you got this big area of water on the map, so I would say for sure Portugal could probably end up grabbing all this water. Doesn't seem inconceivable to me, honestly. So that's one thing to look out for as well. However, we should probably check out decks now and figure out what these teams are going to do. So Portugal is expected doing a water deck. Sea Cav. So literally Poseidon. Yeah, that's Sage of Mythology's Poseidon, folks. Horses and water. Yep, absolutely. So we got ourselves riding school here. We got dragoon combat for the dragoon. Order of Avis. From what it looks like, it's mostly going to be a big dragoon spam here, with the usage of the Asian mercenary army as well, which will bring Ronin and Manchu. lots and lots of dragoons with ships. Seems to be the case. Has all the fishing cards, I believe. Schooners, fish market, rendering plan, whale oil, important one. Also exotic hardwoods, which will help with the training of ships later, as well as navigation school, which makes the ships cheaper and train faster. What about these Frances and these Germanys here? So we'll start off with the Eliyah Germany. Eliyah Germany is going mercenary here. Heavy mercenary. You got your improved mercenaries, you got the mercenary camps, which is a really powerful mercenary aspect of Germany, since it gives them really gives them access to all the German mercenaries in the game. Also, the acquisition of silversmith, ironmonger, and royal mint means they're gonna have a lot of coin. And the fact that they got royal mint refrigeration with Germantown guild artisan says, even once the mines are gone, this Germany is still going to be pumping out mercenaries. Now, instead of the Holy Roman Army, Eliyah has opted to go with soldier trade. Basically, what it does is every time you send this card, it will grant you and your allies 5 Jaegers. In a game like a 3 versus 3 and especially a 4v4, this can be a really good card because it gives your whole team access to a strong skirmisher mercenary in the Jaeger. Looks like Germany's going settler wagon. That seems to be the commonality with Germany players, that they can go greedy, you know, get that strong economic boost from the first settler wagon card, hit up the second one next with 3 of them. And what else we got here? We got another Germany. What's the other Germany doing? Sup semi-FF. So supremacy semi-FF. Yeah, this is totally semi-FF material. You got some army in Age 2, so if you want to fight out with Doppel, Expo, the Irish Brigadiers, you got them. But if you want to go the FF route, you got all your Yuan cards, mercenary cards, Cav combat. Then you got, you know, you're always going to, I think 99% of the time, people are going to include factories in their deck, right? Like, unless you never want to see an industrial age, like, you would always get factories, right? Like, always get your 3 villager card in Age 1 if you got it. Always get your factories in Age 4. That seems to be like something you never want to give up, really. One thing about this, though, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of economic growth here, except for economic theory, which for the settler wagons is going to be pretty substantial with their higher than normal gather rate that they start out with, being a 2-pop unit. But for settlers, it's only 10% boost. It's not going to be a big deal. However, it does seem like this Germany is playing aggressively here. They have produced a stable, and they will start to engage in some raiding. The number of Yuans you have to train as Germany is not a lot initially, because German shipments provide free Yuans with them. In Age 2, that would be 2 Yuans with each card, so this Germany already has 7 Yuans to work with. A batch of 5 is moving out right now with the Explorer. Probably going to see if they can lop off some villagers along the way. Oh, and it looks like the Swede is going... Oh, they went with the Gustavian Guard. Is that from the Royal Decree, I'm assuming? Yes, looks like that's the case. Treaty of Roskilde. Yep, definitely. March of the Hakkapelites. What's this? Increases Hakkapelite movement speed and enables them an age. Oh, so it's like early dragoons that the Portuguese get, pretty much. So they get an age earlier. That's cool. I don't use a lot of Hakkapelites, honestly. I kind of just go Hussar, crossbow, and then mercenary. But if you like the Hakkapelite, it's not a bad unit. I feel like it's pretty reasonable, so definitely get it. Where did they get... So they shipped in Shock Riders, the Sweden too. So going Halberdier with Shock Rider. That is pretty good. That is pretty good, actually. It looks like they're already doing a lot of damage here to this green France, the Camel Toe France. Red German Uhlans, though, are going to try to protect here. Their best bet is to try to take a hit at the Shock Riders with their Yuan's higher attack. They definitely don't want to run into these Halbs, though, because if they do, they're going to get melted because of their low HP, you know. If you don't know much about Yuans, just consider them to be glass cannons, right? You take one stab at them, And generally, what a Hussar might be able to withstand for like 30 seconds, a Yuan will go down like 5 seconds, basically. They can't take a lot of abuse, but they can give a lot of abuse, too. What's Portugal doing? Portugal's doing pikemen to help protect the ally. The Red Germany has shipped their crossbowman shipment in an attempt to maybe take out somebody's halbs with that. It's probably the best thing you can do at this point, but mind you, halberdiers should not be underestimated. If you let a halberdier get near your crossbowmen, they can wipe them out pretty quickly, you know. That's like 28 attack there. That's as much as a Cossack in terms of damage output without the multipliers against Cavs. So, I mean, that can rip through units like these skirmisher style units who don't have any hack armor. So yeah, definitely watch out for halberdiers when you're using skirms. If the halberdiers outnumber you, you might want to kite effectively or get out of there if you don't think you can do that. Eliyah's doing Doppelsolner and Yuan, which I find kind of interesting. And going back to the Sweden deck, looks like they're playing, you know, pretty Tor-boomy, I would say. You know, they got the blueberry bushes to make the bushes more effective. They got Engelsberg Ironworks, which makes the Torps gather from mines at a really insane speed. Osmond process. Now, this is probably the way that Sweden keeps its longevity into the late game. Because naturally your mines are going to disappear as the game goes on and your Torps are eating them, so the only way you're going to get more mines to use the Torps with is probably this. I should definitely consider using this in my decks. Seems like a pretty fun idea to keep the coin economy rolling. You know. And then, of course, if you build new Torps to go to the new mines, then you get another bush, and then, you know, the cycle continues pretty much. Portugal up here is starting to do their fish boom, so they're going to be pretty heavy on the water here. They're going to be queuing up multiple villagers at their town center while doing fishing boats, so Portugal's economy should be pretty solid here. And we never got a chance to look at France. Look at the French. So, this is the purple French. This is the one allied to Eliyah. They're already starting to do musk and crossbow. I can see 10 crossbows, so they clearly trained 2 of them. So a bit of anti-cav and a bit of anti-infantry. But deck-wise, this is looking FF friendly, but there's also some FI stuff here too, like the 10 Courier de Bois, the 3 mortars, that could sort of be FI related. 24 crossbowmen though, this is something that the AI loves to ship, but I don't know for humans if this is really viable. You'll have to tell me in the comments if 24 crossbowmen is actually a reasonable shipment. I think if it was like an infinite shipment, I might do it, but certainly not a one-time use one. Nah, much better cards out there. And how about the opposing one, Camel Toe? Camel Toe is playing more team deck related, I think. You know, I see Refridge, I see, whoa. Why don't you get Royal Mint instead of Textile Mill? Or just find a card here you don't need and put Royal Mint in. See, the thing is, Royal Mint does everything Textile Mill does for the estates, but it also lets you gather bear from mines. So you take more full advantage of the map just going Royal Mint then. You know? What I do in my decks is, I get both Royal Mint and Textile Mill, because forbid it's late game and I need economy to keep rolling, I'm going to need all that coin that I can get. And seeing as the Textile Mill and the Royal Mint are the most effective eco cards you're normally going to get for the coin, that's what I end up going with, you know, instead of things like Rum Distillery or Cigar Roller, which are slightly less effective. That's what I do. And this is the Green France. So yeah, the Green France is actually doing Skirmisher now. And they actually, yeah, they got all the upgrade cards except for the advanced arsenals. So they got the Senegalese Rifleman to boost the attack. They got the ranged infantry hit points. A lot of good stats going for them. Anyone else we forgot? That's everybody. I think that's everyone. This France over here on the purple side is starting to go to Fortress Age now. Seems like the enemy team is already completely in Fortress Age, though. The Portugal, the France, and the Germany. This could be pretty concerning here, you know. This red Germany in particular has a very rush-friendly deck, I would say. You know, not a lot of late-game options, so they're going to be attacking a lot here. The France probably doing it because that's what France usually does, is tries to get for that Fortress Age. And Portugal, the quicker they get to Fortress Age, you know, more town centers, more villager queues. Also, if Vittoria's active, that's going to be more slight trickles of resources altogether from those TCs. Portugal has brought in a fort wagon, and they're starting to construct a fort right now. This fort will go up. I don't see any contest to that right now. And this fort will be pretty monumental in protecting the silver mine here, this silver mine here, as well as these ostriches, which is quite a lot of hunts over here. I think in general putting a fort down on any mines here is a direct threat to the Swedes, because they really need every mine on the map, whether it's, you know, the silver ones here, or the salt ones, you know, the salt ones. Plentiful but slow gathering source of coin, so I guess the salt mines are... they're kind of like a plantation or an estate pretty much, right? But it's a natural resource. Yeah, I didn't know that. I remember that being the case with the Age of the World salt mine, but I didn't know that was actually lore to the vanilla game too. It's probably kind of interesting. Oh, France is doing a... What's this? What is this game the villagers are playing? What's this game the villagers are... They're just... Look at this. They just keep walking back and forth, and the fort can't build until they... What is he doing with... He's sabotaging his team. What is Owen Riggs doing here? Is this like some sort of a meme or something? What is he doing here? Get out of there. Oh, finally. I was like, what is he doing with his villagers? Like, just right-click with that mouse, you know, press that pinky finger of yours and go click, 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 click. Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, you're lucky Eliyah didn't do petards, because Eliyah loves petards. He could have just blown that thing up like instantly and lit that thing like a firecracker. That would have been scary. Seeing a fort go down because somebody couldn't get their villagers out of the foundation. Oh, Eliyah's going industrial, I see. Interesting. So Eliyah's probably going to go heavy cannon, I think, you know. Eliyah loves heavy cannon play with the factories. I can imagine he's going to use the heavy cannons to push back the French, I think. Probably going to do quite well against the Portuguese as well. I don't see him really going goon yet, right? No dragoons. The deck favors them, but they haven't really played into him yet. So we'll see if they end up doing that as a response. We'll see. Anything else notable going on here? Yep, Portugal's going industrial as well, which means they're going to get access to their factories. They could possibly get Order of Aviz as well, and get that nice 4 range add to their dragoons. That would be a serious threat to the heavy cans. That'd be a serious threat to any cav that this team is doing as well. What's the purple France doing? What's Iron Mike Tilo doing? You probably don't want to get too close to this, so make sure you stay close to your allies' base. You're going to want to fight this together and micro as perfectly as possible here. I don't have Cull yet. I'll get. So, looks like Sweden's going to go Culverin here. Yeah, that's always a big debate when you do team games in AoE 3 is who's going to make the Culverins and micro those things really well. Because if you can't micro your Culls well, just don't get them, you know. I've had practice in Arena using Culverins all the time, so for me, Culverin's quite a good unit, you know. It destroys your enemy's artillery advantage like instantly if you can do it well. You know the right statistics, you know how many to target on the what. There's a bit of math involved, right? And the more upgrades you get, the more you can spread out your targeting too. Like, you need less Culverins to take out one target, and you can make strategic things on the fly. But right now we see some combat here. We got the Green France with Dragoons, Skirms, going after what seems to be the Swedish Hakapolits. Here comes the Swedish Culverins, successfully flanking the Falconet and forcing the other one into retreat. These are the Eliyah Ulans. They're gonna probably, are they gonna snipe at these Jaegers here? I could totally see them doing that at this point. Oh, is that Falconet still alive? Yeah, because I see the war wagons all scrunched up over there with those skirms. Yeah. Oh, yep. Doppels are also on cover mode too, making them close in a lot easier. You know, slower, but they're gonna take up a lot of abuse since cover mode gives you 50% of the piercing pressure armor. Oh, yep. That's what you get for fighting Jaegers, man. Just enough stats to barrel past those veteran Ulans. You know, veteran Ulans, no, they don't get a lot of HP from upgrades since their base rate is pretty low. But in terms of attack, Ulans get a lot of attack. You know, they become really ferocious glass cans of units. Well, the question would be, is this going to be like a serious push forward, or is the team up here going to drop the ball and just, you know, try to rebuild again? Because right now, over here, they got a decent number of war wagons and skirms among the 2 to 3 players here. They're going to retreat, it looks like. They're going to try to recover some of these units. Maybe go back to the forts over here. That could be good. Now, this is also a nice little thing you can do in your free time that the Camel Toe French did. They actually built a wall from the Somali native settlement over to the edge of the map. This is going to prevent you from getting severely raided, so that's a really smart idea to do. And even if they want to, like, use an advanced arsenal tech like pillage, having a wall here in general gives you a decent warning that somebody's trying to attack you directly in this area. Oh, these are the Savolax Jaegers from Swedes. Yeah, Savolax Jaeger is a pretty good upgrade to the Jaeger you can get through Royal Decree. Essentially, they become, they can go stealthy, some of their stats gets improved. But the trade-off is that, well actually I wouldn't say it's a trade-off, but the Savolax Jaeger loses some of its coin costs in favor of wood. So if you have trees around, it's a benefit. If you don't have trees around, it makes things a little annoying for you, and you probably have to switch your factories to wood then. Which, from what, you know, what Maston told me from the Wars of Liberty dev team was, you know, wood trickling from factories is one of the decent gather rates from the factory. Like, the coin doesn't matter too much of the food, but the wood is pretty good. Yeah, not bad use of it, honestly, if it comes down to it. So this Portugal here is starting to attack with howitzers, showing one of the town centers here. But yeah, these settler wagons and settlers are gonna have to work hard here to get all these resources. You know, not that these who's invading now. Well, I think their French might want to eat their frogs' legs and their croissants and their goose livers and stuff, but I don't think any of the others, you know, the Germans and the Portuguese are going to want to eat that crazy French food. So yeah, get that crazy French food there so the enemy French don't slurp up that goose liver of yours. Portuguese has... this is not smart. Doppelsolner versus Hussar? What were you thinking? You realize Doppels have 2 splash on, right? So even if you literally surrounding Doppels with Hussars or any handcap is actually even worse than just using 1 or 2, because that splash attack's gonna reach them all and lead to more casualties that way. That's very questionable. I think now that there's the Savolax Jaegers, I think the Eliyah team's going to be in some decent shape holding their ground now, since the Savolax Jaegers do hit pretty hard in their own right. man, what's this? What's this? What's that? What's this? What's that? Eliyah, Eliyah, Iron Mike. You're not so iron now, are you? Because your villagers are getting cut up like they're little teddy bears and pillows. You know, they're not very iron at all. What? Like, why are you still trying to get out from the salt mine? You're just giving them free villager kills, man. Well, I can tell. You know what? Here's my theory. The title of this file said 3v2. Now I understand why. I mean, look at the score difference here. You got Eliyah and Pfefferon with good 30k scores, and then you got a 30k score on the Portuguese. Yeah, the man just resigns because, you know, I don't know, he was too busy looking at the Juanitas Muy Bonitas, I think. I think that's what happened, you know. He was looking at Juanitas Muy Bonitas, he forgot to retreat his villagers, and he ended up rage quitting because of it. Like, oh man, I just lost all my villies. That's horrible. It's a travesty. And it is a travesty, too. That's why you don't let it happen. Oh, nice. Swedish fort. Oh, wait a second, though. This fort's, like, losing half its HP right now. Is, like, Sweden gonna try to salvage it, or what? Also, some fighting over here, too. Yeah, what a shame to lose an ally. You know, this is going to be a pretty fierce fight, though, I can tell. I mean, when you end up in a 3v2 situation like that because you get, lack of a better term, a noob, as Eliyah clearly pointed out before, they're going to fight really hard, these Swedes and these Germans. Seems to be a lot of competition to get this. Oh, yep, just went down. Just went down. Eliyah's U1's working really hard to take out the cannons. The Doppels have to put the war wagons in check. Packet plates can also help against them and the U1's. At this point, because you're being outnumbered by one additional player, both Eliyah and Pfefferon have to micro exceptionally well, like arena level well now. Look at this creative move, using the Doppelsoldiers to snare the skirmishers and to slowly eat into them, while the other Doppels makes a move on the skirmishers over here. Is also going to be able to move forward on these Dragoons. Also, we got more Savalax Jaegers from the Sweden over here. But now that you're outnumbered in terms of, you know, players, this gives the Portuguese an ample opportunity to flank you with Dragoons, Hussars, and organ guns. So maybe some Hakaplites, even Doppels. If you, yeah, use the Doppelsoldiers. He's not targeting you. This means that your Doppels have a fair shot of at least taking out half of these organs, maybe. Yeah, they're gonna take them all out just because of the splash doing the adequate HP removal of these cannons. Oh, you just missed. Yeah, the Settler can finish it off. Settlers actually have multipliers against artillery, if you didn't know. So, if you can get it down that much, sometimes the Settlers is going to be the best way to take down a piece of artillery like an organ gun. Now we see Pfefferon continuing with the artillery play, has some Falks, also Culves. This is going to be key to denying your enemy artillery, and is also going to be a decent siege weapon from long range for hitting their forklift. Yeah, see, this is the problem. Fort's just going to cut down your Falks though because they're in range. But yeah, putting the Savalax in front of it'll, you know, maybe, well, the thing is, if this Portugal was like paying attention to this, they could right click onto this can and continue to crush the thing. You know, there's nothing stopping them from doing that. You know, they're just, I think what they're doing is, based on over here, they're getting ready to do two fronts at this point. They're going to be doing fighting over here, and then they're probably going to have to do some defense here as well for their allies. Getting completely outnumbered by Germany there. Good takedown of Cassadors. Cassadors for all their pierce armor. Not a lot of HP, you know? So Yuans with their high attack, that's what they like to go up against. That's a favorable outcome for them. Oh, so it looks like the Portugal's going to do mercenary shipments now. Infinite Ronin and Manchu. And I also note the factories are on the gold trickle. Also, the plantations or the estates are also going to get started to get upgraded with bookkeeping, followed by the other ones down the line. And where's Eliyah at this point in terms of mercenary investment? Because here's the thing, I was thinking from the deck view that Eliyah was going to go mercenaries here, but right now it's just plain old Yuan Doppel gameplay from Eliyah, and it's working quite well. I see Eliyah has stuck to the normal plan of having heavy cannons available from the factories, so one factory is working the heavy cannons out, the other one is working on coin, presumably for eventual mercenary play here. I think what might be happening here is maybe the mercenary selection isn't ideal, right? That might be why we don't see Eliyah making mercenary right now. And that's always the gamble you play with mercenaries. Just, you don't really get to choose what mercenaries you get most of the time. Except, of course, the mercenary camps where you're always going to get Lanich, you're always going to get Blackbriar, you're always going to get Doppel. Not Doppel, but Jaeger. I think you get, don't you get the giant grenadiers as well? I think so. Now, this is going to be a bit of an issue here, these Ronins. See what a Ronin is in terms of stats. Like, see the stats on the Doppels? Doppel does 30 damage. Ronin is basically a Doppelsoldier, but like fully upgraded. Like completely hardcore stats. Somebody has revolted, it looks like. It looks like Camel Toe has gone up to the French Revolution. I'm just curious, like, what's their next move going to be? Oh, they're going to move forward with their Sans-Calates. What are they going to do with their Sans-Calates here? He's going to try to fight with his villagers. He's coming. Yeah, you're probably going to want to come to deal with this, because if you can take this out, these villagers, the France isn't going to have much else to work with here. And this is kind of interesting, because we don't always see, like, French revolutions in, like, Casa games. So in general, what it is, it's a wide variety of, like, really cool French Revolution related cards you can get. They're quite useful, I find. You got, like, Reign of Robespierre that helps with XP. Guillotine's gonna give you some, give you a lot of stuff too. Quite a few things, and then when you're ready, you go Napoleonic era. And then with Napoleonic era, then you get even more cards in this revolutionary deck, and then you can really go crazy. You know, there's Mamluks in there, there's different cannons in there. It's really, really a nice thing to use. You know, it's fun, and there's some powerful options there. Oh, yep, Doppel's doing their work against infantry, you know. Just like the Halberdier, you can fight infantry with Doppels, you know. They can be versatile if you let them be.
Bonjour.
Looks like France still has some revolutionaries left. Can you get mortar? I have max pop. So they're gonna go for a bit of siege here, it looks like. Oh, Leah's max pop as well. Looks like they're doing alright. I mean, they seem to be making ground. These culverins are getting some sieges in here, some raises. Now we got, well, they're gonna have to get rid of this for next. Probably gonna be one more, unless you want to go straight this way at the Red Germany, make him resign, and then, you know, turn back around towards the French area. I'm an Imperial, so Eliyah's an Imperial age, it looks like at this point. Gonna be maxing out that commie, I bet. See, this is one of the cool things you get with the French Revolution, you know? You get really nice infinite shipment options. 2 horse artillery, probably gonna be necessary here against the Savolax Jaegers of the Swedes. Yep, Eliyah. Oh, that's a Portuguese. So, Portuguese are also going mercenary contractor for 50% more stats than Merce. That's going to be killer for these Royal Horsemen. You know, Royal Horsemen, these are some really insane units. They got some really good trample. They got some really good output, so I mean, quite a tough unit you don't want to mess with. Like, look at these stats. I mean, 30 damage with 3 splash. That is very splashy. You know, and then you're going to get even more stats with the mercenary contractor. That's not bad. That could cause a problem for these guys down here. They're down to 2 now. I like how you got the Savolax Jaegers like sitting right in front of the stable, because what you can literally do is you can do a CB front trowers trick that I always see, where you sit in front of the spawn and you just spawn camp them and just blast the units down. It's pretty powerful, you know. You can get some good exchanges by being able to wipe out units as they're being spawned in, because they got a number of seconds before they can attack you, so best snipe them before they can serve the player any use. I can't believe that with this small purple French frog here resigning on you, the Eliyah and Swede seem to be going for full offenses now. I think what it had to do with was the fact that some reason Green France thought it's a great idea to revolt as France, and for no particular reason, you know what I mean? Getting some kills in there for sure from these settlers. Yeah, Eliyah at this point is full Imperial Zweihanders. Unreal, you know? I thought this was going to be like a mercenary deck, and it's like, oh no, I'm going to use Imperial Doppels here. As the Eliyah Germany. Boy, is it working. Because essentially what makes Doppels quite strong is not only their attack down here with the splash, but their siege is great too, like 120 siege. That is pretty noticeable. I mean, look at how much a house has here. For, yeah, definitely. Nice. GG. You just called it, man. Germany just called it. They seem to be getting the pressure right now. They're going to give up a banana split down the middle now. You got the Revolutionary France over here, which seems to be on the cusp of defeat now, because they literally did the revolt to turn all their villes into the Sans-Caletes. Definitely wasn't an easy GG, you know. I think they're just very lucky of how strong they were as a team, Pfeffron and Eliyah, and standing up against a larger team pool, you know, Camel, Riggs, and Flame Angel. Alright, GG everyone. This was an awesome game. Eliyah again coming out on top with an MVP score of 87,000. If you follow these cast of games every day, maybe you will get inspired to pull off these same tricks as they do, basically, or I do when I do my stuff. So yeah, definitely watch out for these cast of games, because you can learn a lot about your own gameplay. In terms of resources, Portugal, the economic powerhouse, but actually is behind Germany, and I think that's due to the guild artisans, I believe this Germany had. Yeah. In terms of military, Yeah, you could just see statistically Sweden and Eliyah, Germany were just really good with their micro. They were getting a lot of kills here. I mean, look at little Frenchy Frog Purple Miko Tiro or whatever it did. Only 24 kills. That's killing me to even think about. Just about what I mean. Seriously. But anyways, if you like casted games, always check out the channel. You know what I mean? I'm doing them like, I don't do them every day. You know what I mean? Like, if I have better games to be, well, AoE 3 is the best game. But, you know, Wars of Liberty, stuff like that. I just don't get to them all. But definitely send the recordings my way. If you send me lots of recordings and you can almost guarantee me people are going to love these things, I'll do more of them for you, you know. And I'll probably do more anyways because Eliyah keeps sending them. So, more and more beautiful material for you. But anyways, see you next time. Signing off now. See you in the next one.